Time for the word on Wall Street. Top investors watching your money. Joining me right now is Price Futures Group Senior Market Analyst and Fox Business Contributor Phil Flynn, Bull Tick Capital Markets Chief Strategist Catherine Rooney-Vera, and Michael Lee Strategy Founder Michael Lee. Great. Michael, we've got futures pointing higher this morning. Stocks are also looking to rebound after that sell-off on Friday. All three major indices falling better than 2% on a light volume, light liquidity day. The Dow having its worst day since October of last year. Michael, your thoughts on the sell-off and what we're seeing in these stay-at-home stocks versus the reopening trade. A lot of the stay-at-home, the work-from-home stocks rallied on Friday as the reopening trade stocks sold off.
Yeah, Maria, I think the sell-off on Friday was completely overdone. So you got to understand the backdrop as to what's going on here in the bigger picture at play. First is the history of all these viruses is that as the variants come out, they are far more contagious and far less deadly in that most of these viruses are like the Highlander. They want to live forever. So the less deadly they become, the more transmissible they become, the more likely, the more they can stick around. And then also from a polling perspective, where the White House stands. Richard Barris did a poll last week, which he said is the worst poll he's ever seen for a Democrat in the history of all of his polling. Rasmussen had a poll where Biden was down 13 points to Trump on a national scale. Keep in mind, 44,000 votes separated the last election, and Trump was never in the lead in the national poll. So this is horrific at the White House. So they're grasping for straws. And 6 months ago, the only thing they were polling ahead on was COVID. And now people are tired of these lockdowns. And so there's no real science behind what they're doing. They're simply grasping for straws to try to resurrect their poll numbers. So that leads me to believe that this is nowhere near as deadly as they're making it out to be, or serious as they're making it out to be. So I'd be selling these work from home stocks because they've obviously sold off dramatically. You got a little pop on Friday. If you haven't exited and you don't plan to hold these for years, I would be selling those and I'd be buying the reopening trade. Any of these COVID sell-offs I think are golden buying opportunities, particularly on a day like Friday, which is a shortened trading day. There's not very many people at work, so it's a low volume day, and you tend to get momentum in one direction and it gets overdone. I think we're seeing a little bit of a bounce back here, so I'd be getting involved in any of this weakness.
Everything you're saying is the sentiment that I've been hearing all weekend from market sources saying that this is way overdone, coordinated, and yet business is doing well, Catherine. Look at all these buyouts.